What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Scale News Update. If you're not familiar with the show, this is where we talk about the news topics that happen in the scale world of RC over the past week. It is right now the 4th of July, and there's a fireworks show happening in my backyard. So if you hear that, just imagine a tiny fireworks show going on at the same time. But with that, if you enjoy the Scale News Update, hit the like button, and let's jump into this week's topics. First for this week, SSD is releasing a new set of 1.9 beadlocks. These are called the Boxer. This is a pretty standard split 6 style wheel, a common but good looking style of wheel. These are being made available in 3 colors, including red, black, and silver. So if you're interested in this new beadlock, I'll link to it as well as the rest of today's stories in the description below. As I mentioned, right now is the 4th of July, and there's a bunch of sales going on that will unfortunately be over by the time this video goes up. So maybe next year, Scale News will fall on a day where I can tell you about some good deals. But some promotions that aren't over include Traxxas, including a free winch with the 2021 Ford Bronco TRX 4. They say on the website, go to your participating dealer and use the code FREEWINCH to get one of the free Traxxas winches. Nice little winch, uses a separate remote so you don't have to program it to your radio, or depending on what radio you're using, it might not be capable of it. But includes everything you need, pretty simple option. Now I went to a couple of dealers and tried this, and at the time it didn't work. So maybe after the 4th, everyone's back in the office, they'll get that implemented. Maybe give it a day, or possibly shoot your favorite dealer an email and see if you can get that promotion. But worth checking out if you're thinking about shopping for a 2021 Bronco. And another current promotion is going on over at Vanquish products. If you spend $2.99 or more, you'll get a free Vanquish pit mat included in your order. All you got to do is do your normal shopping, and once you hit that threshold, it will automatically be added to your shopping cart at no charge. And if you're looking for items to shop for, you can also note that the VS410 Pro is at $749 now, and the VS410 Ultra is at $799. Also included with those is your choice of free aluminum wheels. Any style, any color in stock and available, you can add. Go check it out. I'll link to the Vanquish Products website in the description below. A while back, we talked about the Proline release of the Class 1 trenchers. And those were released, but they took a long time to start shipping. But now, they are shipping, finally making them to people who pre-ordered them at the time of release. But if you held out until they were available, you didn't want to pre-order, the time is now, because they've made it to dealers and distributors kind of all over. So if you're shopping in the Class 1 range, options can be limited a lot of times. And if that pin style tire is optimal for your terrain, it's one of the few options with this type of tread for that size. Axial Fest Badlands was over just over a week ago. And that means in about 3 weeks, Axial Fest West, hosted at Rob's Resort, will be coming up. This last weekend, I actually made a trip up to Rob's Resort because there was a full-size event happening. Cantina on the Con, or Cantina for the Con, one or the other. But decided to make a trip up there and check out the location because I'd never been there before. While I was there, I checked out the available terrain at Rob's Resort. It was a good chance to walk around the facility, kind of see what Rob's Resort had to offer, and shoot some video of the terrain that was currently available. I do believe that Axial is said to be adding some terrain for the event itself, and hopefully we get to see some progress of that soon on social media, I suppose. After checking it out, we did take about a 20-minute drive up the hill a little bit further to the Rubicon to do some crawling on the rocks there. I did shoot video during that whole trip, and I hope to put that out later this week, kind of give you guys a look at what Rob's Resort at least currently looks like, and what's nearby. So check that out if you're thinking about going to Axial Fest. Again, hopefully later this week. And speaking of Axial Fest, Paul Wilheit, who was part of the Proline team and then joined the Axial Horizon team after the merger, has recently announced that he has left Horizon. Now, if you ever attended Proline by the Fire or Axial Fest, over the last couple of years maybe, you may have met Paul, and he's always just in the best mood, no matter what the situation. No idea how he did it. He was always great to be around. He posted that he's going to be leaving and starting his own graphic design / printing business. So wanted to wish him well in his new endeavor. And he does say that he's going to be at some of the big events still, just maybe gets to relax a little bit more at them now instead. Wanted to say thanks to Paul for all he did for those great events. He was always awesome to work with in any of the official positions that I got to interact with him. If you also ever got to meet or interact with Paul, wish him well also. Traxxas just released a new Fox body Mustang body specifically for the Traxxas Drag Slash. Now, it'll likely fit just about any no prep car, but they killed it with the looks of this body. Good proportions from the photos that they released of this. I'm such a sucker for Fox body Mustangs. Anyway, there's been some available before, but this is the best looking one that I've seen yet. Likely isn't going to be one of the fastest no prep bodies since it's not just a wedge shape like most of the new super high performance ones are aimed at. But if you just happen to love Fox bodies as well, then this is absolutely the best looking option I've seen so far. Currently only listed as available as a body, not available on the Drag Slash already. They recently dropped the price of that Drag Slash to like $299 with the brushless system and everything, which is a pretty good deal. If they put that new Fox body on that platform, I could see that being a nice little popular uptick in sales for the platform. We'll have to watch out for that, but if you just can't wait, grab the body now. T-Works just released a hard case for the Genzace iMARS dual charger. T-Works also makes cases for a lot of other chargers and tools, things like that, but specifically released one for that iMARS dual in case you have one already, or if your name's Adam S and you won one in last week's Genzace dual iMARS charger giveaway, then maybe get yourself a hard case to protect that new item that you just won. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, we're talking about the Genzace iMARS dual charger. Slick little dual AC/DC charger, up to 600 watts of charging in DC. It's got nice advanced features like short circuit protection, overcharging, overheating, just the features you expect in a current high-end charger. Sleek look, clean little display, available in either black or white. If you're looking for a new charger, this is a great fit for just about any battery that you may be using in one of our applications. You can check it out in the link in the description below. And thanks to Genzace for sponsoring this week of the Scale News Update. Traction Hobbies is showing a new version of the Tank 300 called the competition version or edition. Now, the Tank 300, we've talked about it months or maybe a year plus ago. And this is kind of a bigger, fairly scale RC. I believe that it's on 2.2s, just much larger overall, but does have a lot of scale details to it, including some funky things like police lights that are in the grill, just a wild light kit on this thing in general. But this competition version is definitely kind of slimmed down in some areas and focused on maybe a little bit more performance in others. This is a Lexan version of the previous body, it appears, available in a couple of colors or in a clear version. It's got different wheels on it and some tires that are like very clearly an OT6 Voodoo style or KLR knockoff tread, like just identical. I've never seen one of the Tank 300s in the US at all, at least in person. I've seen some photos of them, but I really have never seen them pick up over here or seen any parts support or anything like that. I don't necessarily know why. It does fit a little bit different area of the market. It is an IFS with a solid axle rear, and it's just larger overall, but has its own, cool things. The Tank 300 is a real full-size vehicle that this is a version of. Obviously not one that I'm familiar with, but from what I hear, it is a pretty tight replica of this. So if the previous more streety version wasn't for you, maybe the competition version will make you take the leap into this truck that is pretty rare, it appears, here in the US. I don't know if any dealers are carrying these stateside, or if you wanted it, you may have to order overseas. And I think this one specifically currently is a pre-order. It hasn't hit the Traction Hobby website yet, so keep hitting the refresh button if you just have to have it. This week, Associated released their own belted drag tire for the no prep scene. Up to this point, their RTRs and all that have come with the standard tires, no internal belting at all. So they had a lot of expansion, which is common. I think all of the RTR tires at this point come with non-belted tires, but Associated definitely seems to be the brand that's at the front of just pushing that scene. They have more RTR versions and kits and new releases than anyone else as far as like the big companies go in no prep. So obviously trying to do their best to keep all of their items at the level that will be the most acceptable and the most up to date in that market. Maybe it'll be the new tire that you just have to win. because that definitely seems to be a thing in the no prep world. The new Biddy Designs body for the 1/7 scale Armas is finally released. This is the Destroyer, a very clear version of the Hoonicorn. I was a little concerned before the release that the molded turbos and intake manifold would look not so great, but I think they did a pretty good job. With the body being that large, there was just a little bit more real estate to try and do it in the best possible way. And Biddy Designs showed it in a number of different paint schemes, of which they did a really good job showing off this body. Biddy Designs does such a good job highlighting their new bodies with cool paint jobs. I really enjoy seeing all of the option parts for the 1/7 scale Armas, probably why you see me covering them so much. It's a fun platform. If you've never driven one, try and make it happen. Tickets for the WRCCA Nationals went on sale July 1st. So if you've been thinking about going and dipping your toes into the comp crawler scene, tickets are available now. All classes, 2.2S or Sportsman, 2.2 Pro, which is like typical MOA class, Super, and Mini. All classes available. They did change the group name on Facebook, which changed the links. I've got the current link listed below, as well as a direct link to where you can buy tickets on Eventbrite. So you can check out any of those places in case you're just looking for more details or you want to jump right to the ticket purchasing. Also, don't forget Livestream Takeover every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Join Matt and I as we discuss all of the things that went on over the last week. Independence Day, Canada Day, fireworks that continue to go off in my backyard, and anything else that we got in the mail. So check that out. Always a fun conversation. Again, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. But that does it for this week's news topics. For this week's question segment, last week's question was about what was something you stepped away from and then got back into here recently. I feel like RC was a common answer. Obviously, if you're on this channel, there's a good chance that you're into RC. Good chance you're back into RC if you left. With all of the shutdowns and staying at home, RC was one of those ones like, you know what, I should get out and figure out again, or you know what I should try. Obviously, I think that it was a great choice for any of you who decided to get back into it. But for this week's question, I want to know, we just hit July now. We got the second half of 2022 ahead of us. What are your RC goals for the second half of 2022? Do you have builds you want to finish or builds you want to start? Places you want to go to actually run the builds that maybe you finished in the first half of the year? Let me know in the comments below. Always enjoy reading your guys' comments. My favorite part of the Scale News Update. But with that, thanks for watching. As always, hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not already. Hit the notification bell so you see the videos as soon as they get uploaded. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.